Hi, my name is Arie and I restore antique furniture. A client asked me to restore a little nightstand she inherited. It had stood by the bedside of her grandmother for over 60 years. But since then had been in a little accident and the client was desperate to have it restored to its former glory. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's start restoring.
The little nightstand dates from around 1800 and was made in Holland. Its materials are solid oak and, surprisingly, mahogany veneer on the top. Quite an unusual combination. And originally, it would have had a textile inlaid top. Its little sliding door is very common for Dutch furniture during the 18th and 19th century. It consists of small oak pieces of wood glued on to fabric. They run in a rail carved in the wood. Often, as the fabric deteriorates, they break apart, like they did here.
First we take apart the construction of the little nightstand, or what's left of it. That was easy. But I spotted some fungus on the untreated parts of the wood. We're going to clean the wood from the fungus by using an antibacterial product developed for cleaning machines in the food industry, so it's safe for humans.
You dilute with water and brush it on. As the name nightstand already indicates, this little table would stand next to the bed and a little sliding door would hide a chamber pot when not in use. The flushing toilet would not be widely available for over another 50 years and people of high and low rank would use chamber pots and privies. Privies, or outhouses, would be a toilet in a small building placed at a distance from the house for obvious reasons. They would be used during the day, but during the night chamber pots would be used. Chamber pots would come in a variety of materials and styles, and could be masked as stools, chairs, tables and cupboards. After use during the night, the inside of the chamber pot would be emptied in the streets in the morning. For 19th century public, a lasting source of fun. Or collected by the so-called nightmen during the night. Sanitary it was not. An outbreak of typhoids were common. Times have fortunately changed and sanitary conditions have improved, and the sliding door of our little nightstand hides cold cream and a good book to read nowadays.
After cleaning, we're going to glue the broken parts.
For gluing, I use a traditional hide glue. The excess glue I wipe off with a wet cloth. And I then set the clamps. After the glue has set, I remove the clamps and clean for the last time. And remove the last traces of glue. The underside of the nightstand is broken, and before gluing the broken parts I have to plane the two parts straight again, because they have warp. After planing, I glue the two parts together and clamp them. After the glue has set, I take off the clamps and remove the excess glue with a damp cloth. Now it's time to fix the bottom of the drawer. I remove the obstruction and the plank slides in easily. 3 nails to fix it and it works like a charm again. The textile backing of the sliding door is broken in many places and needs to be removed. The pieces of wood will be cleaned and glued onto a new backing textile. Here I have my new backing textile. It's a sturdy cotton canvas. I'm measuring up the new textile and cut it to the right size. I'm using an animal hide glue to glue the wood pieces onto the backing. After all the pieces are glued onto the backing, I clamp them. After the glue has set, I remove the clamps and check the individual pieces. Glued onto the canvas, but not onto each other, because they have to move freely to make the turn while sliding. I cut off the excess backing canvas and reattach the little knob. While I am immersed in restoring the little sliding door, Bella is wondering if it's already time for a walk outside. And it is. Time for some fresh air for the both of us. Back in the workshop, I start working on the broken construction of the stretcher. In the past, the broken construction was restored with glue and a nail. I remove the nail and I drill out the broken part that is left in the leg of the nightstand. Same procedure on the other side of the stretcher. I remove the wood that's left in the leg and take out the nail. And now for the stretcher itself. I remove the broken part of the construction and drill a hole to attach the new pen I'm making from oak wood. To remove the broken nail from the stretcher, I drill a hole next to it to make room for the pliers and remove the nail. From a piece of oak I had laying around, I make the missing pens for the stretcher. I use the hole I made for removing the nail to attach the new oak pen to the stretcher. Same procedure for the other side. After gluing the new pens, I clamp them. Once the glue has set, I remove the clamps and make my final adjustments to the pens. Now that the stretcher is finished, let's focus on the tabletop. I'm removing the old French polish with a paint stripper. With steel wool, the mahogany veneer is laid bare, and although it looks good, there's one ink stain I want to remove. I'm using a solution of 10% of oxalic acid in water. I let it dry overnight and the day after the stain is gone. Now for the veneer. A piece of veneer has come loose. I adjust the corner angle because the veneer is too wide to be forced back. I put glue underneath the piece of veneer and clamp. I wipe away the excess glue with a damp cloth. And I'm using masking tape to keep the veneer in place. In case some glue comes out, I'm using non-stick paper, so the piece of wood I used to clamp does not stick to the veneer. After removing the clamps, I remove the last traces of excess glue with a damp cloth. With that job finished for now, I concentrate on the center part of the tabletop where the textile will be glued on later. I remove all traces of old glue and over time they put on many layers of different kind of glues. Then I lightly sand the veneer. Some minor pieces of veneer are missing from the top and sides, so I cut straight lines and fill in with mahogany veneer. After I cut the veneer to the right size, I glue in the piece of veneer and fix it with masking tape to keep it in place while clamping. On the sides of the tabletop there is also missing some veneer. I cut straight lines and fill in with mahogany veneer. After I finish gluing in all the veneers and fixating them with masking tape, I clamp and leave the glue to set overnight. After the glue has dried and the clamps are removed, I adjust the veneers for the last time. After sanding, I use a wood filler to fill in the last little crevices. After drying, I lightly sand the wood filler. Now all the components are finished, it's time to glue the parts and reassemble the little nightstand. Gluing and assembling done, it's time to set the clamps. So many clamps needed, so little surface on a little nightstand to place them. While setting the clamps, I clean the surface of excess glue with a damp cloth. Removing the weights of the clamps must feel like a relief for the little nightstand. What is missing is the top of the table. I drill holes to attach the top with wooden dowels. I'm placing doweling points to transfer the holes in the table to markings in the top. I mustn't forget to place a little sliding door before gluing on the top of the table. I place the top on the nightstand and press down. The doweling points will leave a marking where the wooden dowels will go. At the markings, I drill the holes for the dowels on the top. Before gluing on the top, I coat the sliding door mechanism with candle wax for a smooth run. I place the wooden dowels and glue on the top. Then I place the clamps. After removing the clamps, it's time to finish the last part of the restoration of the little nightstand, the top. I'm going to brush on a coat of French polish. After drying, I'm sanding the French polish with the finest steel wool. And I'm color correcting some of the mahogany inlays I made with pigments diluted in French polish. After drying, I put on a coat of clear wax using a heat gun. It will deepen the color of the wood and give a good shine. Now careful with the heat settings. We don't want to deepen the color of the wood to a crispy black. Once the wax has dried, I buff it up to a good shine.
When the client first asked me to restore her late grandmother's nightstand, we both agreed the plastic felt on the top had to go. Fortunately, I could offer her the same shade of red in a beautiful traditional wool fabric. Now that the restoration is almost finished, the client called me and asked me if she could still change her mind about the fabric. She had found this fabric that her grandmother had used for decorative pillows in her bedroom. And now the granddaughter wanted to use it for the little nightstand. I love this story. I will gladly decorate the table with this fabric. It's a bit unusual and quirky, but also modern and sentimental. I love it. And the colors really match the wood of the little nightstand.
I'm taking measurements and I'm cutting the fabric to size. I'm gluing the fabric on with a modern wood glue that will dry up transparent and will not drown the fabric and leave markings. I put on a thick layer of glue and wait a while till it is tacky. Then I carefully position the fabric. After the glue has dried sufficiently, I cut the fringes that come with this particular fabric. Remember what it looked like before? This is what it looks like after restoration. Client was super happy. There were even a few tears. I love the result. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.